modality. So iba po ang setup niya. That's why by tomorrow and on Wednesday, mas magiging detalyado po ang discussion natin ng ating e-learning. And another one is this. I think this is the most important and the very important factor. We need to accept change. Okay? It's time for us to appreciate and to accept that there are changes happening in our society, most especially in our education sector. To give you some ideas, no, for the recent report of CHED, there are schools right now. There are schools right now that had frozen the hiring of the part-time faculty, and they are maximizing now the full-time faculty members. Meron namang iba na nagkaroon na ng mga retrenchment programs dahil iba wala pang MA or yung iba hindi pa licensed teacher, most especially sa basic education ito. So nagkakaroon tayo ng ganong klase ng mga advance right now, and what we can do and how can we adjust is to really accept change and to make adjustments in our lives. Okay? Now, let's proceed now with the dynamics of e-learning and flexible learning. Alam ko sa dami na ng webinar po na inyong naatinan at napakarami na po ng speakers na inyong napakinggan, ay alam nyo na itong area na ito. But we want to discuss this on your context. How can we adjust or how can we appreciate the flexible learning and e-learning on the context of Lyceum Alabang? Okay? So look, I want you to look at this framework or diagram of Brown, published in 2003, wherein the idea of flexible learning goes beyond distance learning. So meaning to say, everything that we do right now, any kind of flexibility in terms of our instruction, whether we want to conduct our classes online, whether it is in offline, whether in a modular mode, whether our students will be able to get a copy of the files, everything, learning materials through a flash drive, that's what we call flexible learning. Now, in contact learning, this is the usual thing that we do our face-to-face classes. But in distance learning, the general definition of a distance learning is there's a separation between the learner and the teacher. And there are different categories or approaches of distance learning. It can be e-learning. When talking about e-learning stands for electronic learning. Meaning to say, pag sinabi pong e-learning, pwedeng may internet ka, pwede ring wala kang internet. As long as you are providing the mechanism for learning in a form of an electronic format. Meaning to say, pag electronic format, pwede naman po makapag-provide ng copy ng ebook, PDF file, mga recorded videos, no? Pero hindi niya kailangan ng presence ng internet. Pero halimbawa kung ikaw ay mag-online learning, it will require you to have the presence of an internet because it's online. There's two modality for this. We have online and offline. Online, it means that there's always a presence of internet. Offline, there's no presence of internet. E-learning, there's always a presence of an electricity. That's why it's electronic learning. M-learning stands for mobile learning. Ibig sabihin, pag mobile learning, learning can be done through with the presence of an internet. For example, mobile data. It can also be done without the presence of an internet. Okay? Now, there's another form of distance learning, and that's what we call the paper-based distance learning. Ito po halimbawa yung case na ang bata, wala po siyang laptop, wala po siyang internet, wala rin po siyang wala siyang mobile phone, wala, yung tatlong yun wala. So what we can do, okay, it's what we call now the paper-based distance learning in a form of module. Ito na po yung idea natin na ang bata, halimbawa, the context is, pwede natin ipadala yung copy ng lahat ng module, it's printed modules, learning materials, everything, through courier, ipapadala natin sa bata. Or, si parent ay pupunta sa school at kukunin niya lahat ng learning material na nagawa ng faculty on that specific course. It can be in a form of a course file, it can be in a form of a module, or textbook. It depends on the approach or the decision of the management on how they will go to the paper-based distance learning. So that's the idea of flexible learning. There's a certain level of flexibility. And again, for online learning, it can goes beyond the idea of blended learning. Pag blended learning, uh, combination of the face-to-face and the technology and the online learning itself. Okay? Now, I want you to look at this, specifically on blended learning. Usually, nung hindi pa nag-start si pandemic, we have this so-called face-to-face instruction. Okay? Then it goes blended when we apply technology. That's the idea of blended learning. As long as you have your laptop in presenting your PowerPoint presentations or slide, you are using a projector, for example, or even email for sending files. That's a form of blended combination with a combined modality of face-to-face. Now, habang tumataas yung level ng blended learning flexibility, nagiging full online siya. Meaning to say, there's already a distance approach or distance learning approach applied. Ibig sabihin, less face-to-face for about 10%, 90% is fully online. It's all technology-based. Everything is being relied on technology. That's why this is the approach to migration from the face-to-face to full online. But if NCR will decide that if the government will decide that NCR will lift its GCQ going to NGCQ, it still depends on the institution how they will manage. Or will we allow our student to go to school once a month or twice a month? It depends. It depends. But again, we always look at the safety of our student. Okay. Pero kapag ganun ang case, what support can we offer in the academic domain or as faculty members to fully support the trust of our student to learn still, even if they are undergoing this kind of learning flexibility or learning modality. Let's talk about the different categories of e-learning. Ito magiging direction natin for e-learning, no? So I want you to look at the following. We have the e-learning synchronous online, the e-learning asynchronous online, and e-learning offline. So all of these are e-learning. Again, it requires electricity. Okay? It requires electronic gadget in order for the student to have access to information. But let's look at e-learning synchronous online. Ito yung una. For e-learning synchronous online, is considered to be learning is real-time via internet. Meaning to say, we are doing our discussions through a video conferencing application. Like for example, Zoom. Ito. Nagdi-discuss tayo in real time with the use of internet. Okay? We are using Google Meet. Halimbawa, kung meron po kayong Gmail account, you are using your Google Meet to discuss something. You could have also Skype, if you have Skype account, or even Messenger. Yung Facebook Messenger ng mga bata, as long as they're online, you can do online discussion there kung baka yan. That's what we call synchronous online. Synchronicity. Ibig sabihin, all are together in terms of learning in real time. Okay? Now, if we're talking about asynchronous online, it deals with learning at the different times and location. Meaning to say, using still the internet, but there's no requirement for the student to enter in a video conferencing application and attend lectures. Meaning to say, pwede po kayo magbigay ng instructions sa kanila through email. Halimbawa po, through email or through MS Teams na hindi mo naman i-request sa kanila na sila ay na-attend ng isang klase ng live. That's what we call asynchronous learning o asynchronous online. Best example would be the use of a learning management system. I thought last week nagkaroon po kayo ng training sa inyong MS Teams using training on LMS using the MS Teams. And we will try to maximize the use of it for the next trainings to come. Kasi pwede natin siya maging main platform in our learning modality. Another, if you want to have the so-called discussion forum, halimbawa, ginagawa natin ang recitation sa klase, nagko-question and answer tayo sa mga bata, but in e-learning, asynchronous online, we will do that in a form of discussion forum. Ito yung general na ginagawa na mag-post ka ng question sa isang, post ka ng question sa Facebook group, no? Tapos magre-reply ang mga bata sa sagot nila. That's the discussion forum. That's the least approach for the discussion forum. Self-guided materials or even pre-recorded videos will do. Now, how about e-learning offline? Ito naman yung klase ng modality na kung saan ang mga bata ay natututo pa rin ng kanilang mga lesson pero hindi na sila nire-require gumamit ng internet. Meaning to say, magpapadala tayo sa kanila o meron silang access ng lahat ng mga digital learning materials or resources, supplemental readings, at pwede nila itong pag-aralan kahit wala silang internet sa bahay. Example po nito ay pwedeng i-save sa flash drive or sa hard drive or even sa CD or sa DVD. Sir, tanong ko po, ito po ba ay hiwalay pa doon sa printed na sinasabi po kanina? Yes, kasi ang printed, that's the typical modular approach. Ibig sabihin, kung lahat ng materials ng bata ay printed, dahil nga wala access ang bata sa kanyang, wala siyang laptop at wala siyang mobile data at lalong wala siyang internet, ang modality natin ay magiging modular approach, and that is what we call modular learning offline. Ibig sabihin po nun, talagang hard copies ng lahat ng materials ang kanyang marireceive para siya ay mag-aral. Now, the retrieval, the question is, sir, paano namin checkan yun? Paano namin siya i-monitor yung performance nila? Kasi meron kami prelims, may midterms, may exams. So, nakadepende po sa magiging policy ng school later on the modality on how will you manage the assessment mechanism. I want you to look at this diagram provided by Daniel Stanford, and it is open. This has an open license that anyone can use. Mapapansin nyo, there are two categories of, kung sa mathematics ito, naka-quadrant siya. No? I'm not familiar with math, pasensya na po. That's the level of bandwidth and the level of immediacy. Makikita nyo po sa taas, on the vertical axis, we have there the high bandwidth, nasa baba ang kanyang low bandwidth. On the left side, makikita po ninyo dito yung low immediacy and high immediacy. And the different identified tools there, or the application tools, depending on the level of bandwidth and immediacy. For example, kapag gumamit ka, look at the red quadrant there. So makikita nyo po dyan may video conferences and audio conferences. Meaning to say, kapag ni-require nyo po ang bata na mag-video conference po tayo, for example, gagamit ng Zoom, gagamit ng MS Teams, gagamit ng Google Meet, mataas ang level ng bandwidth ng kanyang nire-require. And mataas ang level ng immediacy ang kanyang nire-require. Meaning to say, kumakain siya ng data. Kapag ang bata ay naka-mobile data at nire-require mo mag-video conference every now and then, lahat ng instruction mo, video conference, lahat sila, mataas ang bandwidth na kakainin, mauubos ang kanyang mobile data storage. Why high immediacy? Because it requires their presence. Siyempre, hindi ka naman pwede mag-video conference nang hindi mo nakikita ang mga itsura nila. So that's what we call high immediacy. Look at the green one. The green one is the usual thing that we do, wherein low bandwidth ang requirement niya, so hindi siya kumakain ng napakalakas sa data, and low immediacy dahil hindi naman niya nire-require na ang bata ay laging present every now and then. And you can do that through email, through discussion boards, or through readings with text or image. So, ganun siya kababa, and most of the students can do this, yung nasa green part, no? But look at the yellow one. It has low immediacy, but it has high bandwidth. Meaning to say, when you, as a faculty, when you do pre-recorded video, at kapag in-upload mo to sa kanilang Google Drive, for example, yung pre-recorded video na to, at kailangan magkaroon ng access ang bata na makita yon, it will require them to have high bandwidth kasi panonoorin nila yung video.